everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be sharing 5 recipes with you. These are actually recipes that I have cooked this week for my family. Whenever I make these videos, I really hope that the recipes inspire you to try something different with your family. And I really hope they go down well with you and your family in the hope that I can just make your deciding process of what to have for your dinners a little bit easier. I do post loads of videos just like this. So if you're new here, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button because I post one of these videos every single Sunday morning at 7 AM UK time on my YouTube channel. I also post lots of recipe ideas over on my Instagram page as well, so I would love to have you over there too. With all that said, I'm just going to jump straight on into this video. I hope you enjoy these recipes and thanks so much for watching. So for tonight's dinner, I am going to be making a mini roast dinner, but I have got a chicken, but I forgot to actually do this videoing before I popped it in the oven. So let me show you. It is just in the oven now. It's looking delicious. It's been in there for 30 minutes. So I'm just about to get my potatoes in there as well. So I've got this on 180 degrees centigrade in my fan assisted oven. This is going to be cooking for an hour and a half in total. And then what I do, so that's been in there for 30 minutes, like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in all of these bits apart from the cauliflower and broccoli cheese, but I'm going to add in everything else into one pot. So it's like a 1-pan dish. It's really, really easy. I haven't got any baking potatoes, so instead I'm going to be using these little new potatoes instead. I'm just going to cut them in half, chuck them into the same pan as my chickens in, and I'm going to put those in for an hour. I've also got some carrots, cauliflower, broccoli, and then I'm going to make up a little cheese sauce here as well. So like I said, I'm going to cut my new potatoes in half. I'm going to put that in with the chicken, and those are going to cook for an hour. When there's half an hour left, I will then add in my carrots. So I'm just going to peel my carrots, cut them in half, and then I'll cut them in half again, and then I'll pop them in with my potatoes and my chicken, let everything cook together like that. When there's about 15 minutes left, I'm going to start making up my white sauce. So I'm just going to melt some butter in a saucepan. Once that's melted, I'll add in a little bit of flour until it kind of comes together. And then I'm going to be adding in some milk slowly until it becomes a nice creamy white sauce. Then I'll be adding in some grated cheese into this as well. While that's cooking, I will just be steaming through my broccoli and my cauliflower until they're nice and tender. Once that's all done, we are then ready to serve. So to serve this, I'll put some chicken on a plate with some potatoes and some carrots, put some broccoli and some cauliflower on the plate, and then just pour over a generous amount of cheesy sauce. I will also have made some gravy on the side, and I will just put some of that onto the whole roast too. This is a really, really simple way of cooking a roast, and as you can see, you use minimal pots and pans, which makes washing up so much easier. Right, so for dinner tonight, we are going to be having something a little different because we're having these sausage burgers. I just went into the shop the other day, into the Co-op, and I saw these and I thought, oh, these are a bit different. So I thought we'd try them. So what I've done here is I have cut up some wedges using jacket potatoes, and then I've just put some oil on there and some salt and pepper. I have got some burger buns here. Like I said, I've got my sausage patties, and then I've got some cheese, some salady bits. I've got some cucumber, tomatoes, pepper. I've got lettuce, and then I've also got some eggs. I've only got 2 because actually me and Jamie aren't having eggs, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with those in a minute. And then I've also got some gherkins here too. So what I'm basically going to do with these, I'm going to be cooking up my chips in the oven, and while those are cooking, I'm going to start making my burgers. So I'll put my sausage patties into the oven as well for about 20 minutes until they're nicely cooked through. For the last couple of minutes, I'm also just going to lay a piece of cheese over each of my patties in the oven so that it can melt through. When they've got about 2 minutes or so to go, I'm then going to get a frying pan out. I'm going to fry up some eggs, and then I am ready to serve up. So how I'm going to serve this is I'm going to open up a burger bun. I'm going to put the sausage patty with the melted cheese on top of my burger bun. Then I'm going to add a little bit of sliced gherkin, followed by a fried egg, and then I'm going to put the top of the burger bun on top of the egg. Like I said, I am going to serve this with the wedges that I have cooked and a nice little salad on the side, and that is our dinner for tonight. Right, Right, so for dinner tonight, we are going to be having some lamb chops, potato, and some salad. So what I have done first of all, I've already prepped my potatoes, and then I've kind of like sliced into them. I know these are called something, but I can't remember what that is. But basically I've sliced into them, and then I put some olive oil on top and some salt. So the best way I find to do this is to get yourself a spoon, and then I lay my potato into the spoon and then slice down. And then this stops you going all the way through the potato, because the spoon will stop you at a point, so you won't go through the potato and it won't mean that your potato falls apart. So that is what I have done to all of these potatoes. And then, like I said, pop some olive oil on top and a generous amount of salt. And then what I've got here is some lamb chops. These are actually lamb chops you can cook from frozen. And then I've got some mint sauce, some Parmesan cheese, and some rocket. Firstly, I'm going to start off by cooking my potatoes in the oven on 180 degrees centigrade for 45 minutes. While those are cooking, I'm going to get some olive oil, drizzle those over my pork chops, as well as putting a generous layer of mint sauce on top of each one before putting the pork chops into the oven for the remaining half an hour the potatoes are cooking for. And then I'm ready to serve. So I've got my salad on the plate. I'm just going to add a couple of lamb chops onto each of our plate, followed by a couple of potatoes on there too. For dinner tonight, we are having some salmon. So what I've got here is a quarter of a side of salmon. Whenever I buy salmon, I always buy a half a side, and then I slice it in half and then put each half in some tin foil, pop them in the freezer for whenever I want to use them. And then this is a perfect amount for 4 people. So the kids kind of have the smaller end and Chris and I have the bigger end up here. So it works out much more cost effective than to buy the individual fillets. So what I have already done here is I've prepped this with, I've got 4 tablespoons of soy sauce on there. I've also got 4 tablespoons of sesame seed oil, 4 tablespoons of lime juice. I usually put fresh limes on there, but when I did my shop, they didn't have any in stock, so they substituted me out with this. But actually, I think that's quite a good way to kind of have some like lime reserves. I've also put a sprinkle of garlic granules on there, a sprinkle of ground ginger, and then I have sliced up some spring onions on the top as well. And then over here, I have already cooked up some rice, and I have got some broccoli too. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to preheat my oven to 180, and I'm going to pop my salmon into the oven for 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes, I'm then going to add my broccoli florets to the outside of the salmon, and then I'm going to just turn the tin foil over the floret so it almost kind of steams the broccoli when it goes back into the oven. This will go back into the oven for 10 minutes on 180, and then when that's done, you are then ready to dish up. This is such a simple dinner and it is totally delicious. Lay some rice on the bottom, then you cut your salmon up into fillets, put that on top of your rice with some broccoli on the side, and then share out the sauce that's remaining in your foil, and that is your dinner done. So easy, so healthy, and just totally delicious. So tonight's dinner is going to become a sausage lasagna. So what I have got is some lasagna sheets. I've got 1 onion diced up here. The reason I haven't put a garlic in there as well is because I've got this garlic oil, which I just need to use up. So I'm just not going to add the garlic in there. It's going to come from here instead. I have got 200 mils of pork stock here, some Lea Perrins, chopped tomatoes, and I've got 10 Cumberland sausages. These are obviously in the skin, so what I'll do is I'll remove the meat from the skin before cooking. And then what I have got here is I have made myself a white sauce. Oh, I'll also use some cheese, which I haven't got out the fridge yet as well. So in this white sauce, I've just made it with some butter, some flour, and then some milk. When I added the flour in, I also added a teaspoon of some mustard powder in here too, because I just think it adds a little bit of something to your white sauce. So that's already made up. Over on my hob, ready to go into my lasagna. So what I'm going to do with my sausage meat is I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to take all of the meat out of the skins. The simple way I get the meat out of the skin is just by getting a knife and scoring up one side of the sausages, and then you can take the skin off really easily. I'm just going to fry that off along with my onion for a couple of minutes so they can just brown through before adding anything else to my pan. Once those have cooked through, I will then go ahead and add in my chopped tomatoes, 2 tablespoons of Lea Perrin, and the 200 mils of pork stock too. I'm just going to let that bubble away for a good few minutes, let all the nice flavours diffuse into the whole mixture. Once I've done that, it's then ready to start constructing my lasagna. So I just put a layer of my meat down first, then a layer of my lasagna sheets, then some white sauce, then another layer of meat, lasagna sheets, white sauce, and I'll just carry on doing this until I've used up all of my mixture. I actually am quite generous with each layer, so I actually only usually do about 2 layers in total. Once I've done that, I will then top this with grated cheese, and I'll put it into my oven on 200 degrees centigrade for a good 40 minutes, just to make sure your lasagna sheets have cooked all the way through and are really nice and soft. After the 40 minutes is up, it's ready to take out and serve. You can serve this with some salad, garlic bread, whatever you fancy on the side. The kids just like some peppers cut up on the side, so that is how we are having ours today. So those are the 5 meals that we have eaten this week. I really hope you enjoyed them. Let me know which was your favorite. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.